You ready to be impressed, but also a bit scared? Check out how these language models do reasoning. Did you use our sandbox when you were testing it out? Nah, I prefer the freedom of using open source models. What, open source models? Doesn't sound very American. So let's start with this basic word problem. If I use an older model like GPT-2 to try to solve it, you can see it tries to fill in the text, but doesn't really answer the problem. But when I use Google's FLAN T5, look at how it's able to actually figure out the problem and solve it. And even if I slightly change up the problem, it's able to figure it out. Like, it's understanding the word problem. I've talked about how these models are doing reasoning, but it really hit me once I started playing around with this and changing examples and seeing how the models reacted. Guess whose models are at the top of the leaderboard? Yeah, let's see for how long. Now in this example, when I first asked the model how to solve this, to do this concatenation, it doesn't figure it out. But when I slow down and ask the model to do things step by step, it's able to figure out the answer. Now in this case, we're going to give it an example of how to solve the problem before we ask it to solve the problem. And the problem isn't very simple, right? We have to take 16, divide it by half again, and you can see here, the model figures it out. Did you see this example of common sense reasoning? Even when you switch the order of the answers, it figured it out. Like it gets it. I'd seen the benchmarks that said these models were reasoning, but until I really played with it myself, I didn't really get it in my soul. And now, frankly, I'm a little shook, and it's a little scary that these models are probably doing better than a lot of people. AGI! If you want to play in your own sandbox, you can grab this model off the Hugging Face hub and then just hit the deploy button, deploy it out, and you'll have your own private place to play around with it.